guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be how to reprogram your subconscious mind. In many videos I reference back to saying like, okay, you may have had certain experiences in childhood or beliefs instilled in you through childhood or through then in your young adulthood, and then even in your adulthood experiences that may have been ingrained in your conscious mind, in your subconscious mind. And I often reference back to the reprogramming your subconscious mind and in turn shifting your life. So I feel like this is kind of like a staple or a foundation video I need to have on my channel, so that when I reference people or reference you guys into saying like, okay, but you can reprogram your subconscious mind, or you can shift this pattern or break this cycle by reprogramming your subconscious mind, that I kind of have a guide on how to do it, right? I don't want to be referencing something that I don't kind of have a good little foundation or some context for you guys about. So I'm gonna try. This is a very wide topic, as so many topics that I'm gonna discuss are so, wide lensed. And what I try to do in my videos is in 15 to 20 minutes summarize what I think is the most important or valuable information that will kind of kickstart you in the correct direction basically as soon as possible. That's what my goal is to do. Of course, I always just want to say as a disclaimer, you should do your own research. You can discover so much more. Maybe you can discover something else. Always do your own research, right? I can be like the seed of something and hopefully give you a good base of information, but if something is interesting or interested in something, the web has so much information. Other YouTubers, other articles, other things, videos, lots of from guided TV to discover. And like I said, I'm not ever claiming that I'm giving you this whole topic range, everything that's ever been discussed and discovered. I'm trying to give you the most valuable tools that can kickstart you. So without further ado, let's just hop on in. By the way, if you like my videos or if you're new, be sure to subscribe. It really helps the channel, and thumbs up if you like this kind of content. So our subconscious mind basically rules 95 to 99% of our decision making. There's very different studies that cite different numbers, but in turn, it's important. It's basically making our decisions for us. Although we may think that with our conscious mind, we are making a decision, the direction that we're leaning in, or why the base core of why we're making that decision is rooted in a subconscious belief. So though you think you're making a decision to go to a certain restaurant, or you're making a decision of the way you're going to respond to an email or text or whatever it may be, that the action that you're taking is based off of a subconscious belief. Now, there's different sectors of our lives, right? We have like relationships, we have friendships, we have career, we have worthiness, finances, things like that. We have different beliefs in different sectors of our lives. Like I said in the past, most of these are ingrained from our parents. So, if our parents had a more pessimistic lens of life, in turn, we begin to view life through that lens as we grow up. If they had like a scarce or lack mentality, we grow up with that. And we just think, we don't even realize that it's a lack mindset because it feels like the norm. In the same way, if your parents are very optimistic or very prosperous and abundant, and you viewed the world as with almost like in a very rose-colored glasses kind of way, where you saw the positive in certain situations, you saw the opportunity, the success, the abundance and prosperity that was available to you, that is that. And I also, like, I talked about this, either the video will be up before or after this, but I made a video on anxiety and how to basically get rid of anxiety, quote unquote, or where it stems from and everything. I'm not sure how it's going to be titled, but basically on anxiety, I discuss how your beliefs truly shift your timelines, because the beliefs you have is the lens of what you're looking at the world through and what you're selecting out of the world to focus your attention on. And as you sift and sort through the world and you focus your attention in certain directions on certain things, aspects, and qualities, you make decisions based off of things that you notice. It could be kind of like the whole, if you've ever seen those Where's Waldo photos, like a bunch of people could look at the same thing, or even those photos with a bunch of words, and it's like the first 3 words you'll see will be how your 2020 will be. It's kind of like that. Like in life, it's like this array of things. The word one really resonated with me, and you really see what you want to see or what your subconscious is seeing. So oftentimes when you look at like one of those big word things and you pick out like love, success, abundance, or whatever it is, it's really what your subconscious is yearning for. You will pick those words out, or you already are desiring. And in the same way, when we look at life, so think of life as that little word puzzle. We are genuinely picking out and sifting and sorting that which is in alignment with our subconscious beliefs. And it may be hard to hear that at first, because you think like, no, I'm an objective observer. I go through my day, I look at everything and I'm logical, but the things that you notice and pick up in a day are based on your subconscious beliefs. A really lovely way to test this is spend your day with somebody else and see the things that both of you guys pick up on. Unless you're very similar, maybe you're raised very similar way. If you were to put two people through the exact same day, and even let's say you ask them not even to speak to each other, and just on a notes app or on a phone, I guess like you could write by hand or on their phone, write what they've noticed about throughout their day. And let's say you took them to 4 different locations, what their thoughts, feelings, and what they noticed throughout the day, or things that stood out to them in every section. More likely than not, they would be different. Our parents aren't perfect. They were just people also who tried their best to raise a child, and unless they did conscious work themselves to shift or reprogram beliefs, they probably passed down generational beliefs. That's why you often hear people say heal generational trauma or start a new cycle or break the cycle, because oftentimes if we don't do the inner healing work and realize maybe things or ways of parenting or patterns that were ingrained in us, that were passed down into us, and until we begin to shift those patterns and realize that maybe this way that our parent raises or this thing he observes, or basically you kind of like look at yourself as like this imprint. You see, where am I having issues, or where am I having cycles, or where do I have areas that my life that I basically want to improve or don't like the way that they're going. You get to that area of life which we'll talk about, and then you sort your subconscious beliefs. But until we heal that, we will basically pass down through the way that we parent, and most importantly how we lead by example. Children pick up more how parents interact and engage with each other than they do with what you tell them. You can tell them this is right and this is wrong, yet they will look to the parents as to an example. That's why you can really tell from the way a kid acts the relationship that the parents often has, because if it's very chaotic and yelling and the way they mimic and speak to their parents, they're picking that up from their parents or whoever their primary caregivers are. In the same way, if the kids are more calm, more rational, soft-spoken, understanding, compassionate, even empathetic, you can kind of see the kind of parenting that is in place there. And so you kind of look at the areas of life that maybe aren't going how you'd like, and then you really begin to dive deep and think, what are my beliefs about this? Ask yourself, like, do I think I'm good enough? Do I think I'm deserving enough? Do I, you know what I mean? Of whatever that is. So you look at that section, so of a healthy relationship, of love, of being understood, maybe for money, like that my work is valuable, that I should be compensated well for my work, that I deserve to live a life that I desire, that I deserve to be prosperous and abundant and live in my truth, and that my maybe like that do I believe that my authentic self-expression is worth prosperous compensation? Do I believe that I add value to the world that should be compensated? And things like that. You can ask yourself those questions, or you can read affirmations about that area of your life and see which ones you have kind of a uncomfortable response to. When you read an affirmation, if it feels calm and peaceful and neutral in the body, your subconscious mind more often than not believes in it. If you read it and it creates a kind of resistant feeling or an uncomfortable feeling in the body, your subconscious more often than not does not believe it. So if you begin to look at all of those areas of life and kind of see where maybe there are beliefs that are not serving you. And I want to reiterate one more thing. A belief could be true. So maybe you had an experience, like I said, in your childhood or your young adulthood, which led you to believe something. Maybe in your young adulthood you didn't deserve a situation, or you messed something up, or whatever it may have been. It may have been true, right? In that moment, maybe you didn't deserve that thing, or in that moment, maybe you did mess up. It does not mean that you need to carry that belief now. The same way as maybe when you cooked dinner a night ago, you had to be on heat 6, and that was true for that moment. But today to cook dinner, you have to be on heat 4. It doesn't mean that because you had to be on heat 6 yesterday, you have to be on heat 6 today. Just because you cooked it, you messed up cooking a meal yesterday doesn't mean you're gonna mess up today. If you were to take cooking one meal wrong and giving yourself the affirmation that I suck at cooking, I can't cook, you'd continue messing up your meals. But if you were to realize that that was true in that instance, okay, I messed up that meal, I didn't cook that meal correctly, or whatever it was. I'm giving you a very obviously watered down small example that you can apply to large scale situations, but then you can realize that I have the power to change my belief, and in turn change the way I feel, aka emotion, change the way I think, because the way you believe it stems into thoughts and then feelings, and in turn to completely shift my energy and shift myself into being someone who is a good cook, who is amazing at creating food, who doesn't over toast things, and who gets things perfectly crisp, or whatever it may be. So just because in your child or in your young adult or in one relationship or in one career situation or even a few, just because in the past one thing was true for you, you can choose today that that is no longer true for you. You can choose today that you have a new belief, that you have a new belief about what you deserve, you have a new belief about who you are as a person. You can change in any moment, and from today moving forward, you can ingrain that belief into you. So let's talk about how to do that. Like I said, I really suggest meditation, because meditation will in general just allow thoughts that maybe passing or thoughts that aren't really in full resonance to kind of float away, kind of flow down from you. And also in meditation, towards the end of it or in the middle, whenever you feel comfortable, I suggest towards the end of it, while you're still in that deeper kind of mind state, or I don't know if a deep mind state is not the correct term, but when you're in that kind of more open, kind of loose, I don't say lucid, but when you're in a mind state where the conscious mind is a little bit more quiet, or if not fully, mostly quiet, that's when you want your subconscious mind is more open and more receptive. That's when we want to ingrain these new beliefs. So in our meditation, towards the end of it, we want to start creating affirmations for the things that we are working on. So let's say we're working on sense of self and self-esteem. We'll do like, I am confident, I am worthy, I know what I'm talking about, I am self-assured, I am strong, I am powerful, I am aware, I deliver messages clearly and effectively, I am efficient, I am successful, I communicate clearly, I resonate with others powerfully, I bring clarity to others, I am clear in my communication, I speak with love and joy, I speak with love and power, I bring clarity and insight to others, I am deserving of good things, I am worthy of good things, I am worthy of beautiful and prosperous opportunities, I am worthy of success, I am worthy of living a life that I deserve, I feel fulfilled in my life, I am worthy of joy and prosperity in my life, I am worthy of exciting and delightful experiences in my life. We'll do two more. I deserve splendid and exciting things in my life. I deserve to feel happy, fulfilled, and excited in my prosperous, abundant, and loving world that I've cultivated, that I deserve, and that I know is mine, now and always, and things like that. You can do this with me if you want to rewind it. And kind of like repeat after and maybe stop it. But those are kind of like ones that came to mind, but doing those in your meditation. If that maybe doesn't resonate with you, or you want to, you know, powerhouse and do a few things, you can also do this in terms of scripting. So purchasing a journal exclusively for this. I want to be clear with that. Do not take an old journal. They've used things because it can mix energy. And I personally, I mean, do what you will. I strongly suggest you get a journal exclusively for scripting. We are going to be writing affirmations. So in the journal, you would write those things that I just spoke of, or other things you want to speak or affirm to yourself. Like I said, depending on which area of life you're working on, whether that's finances, career, relationships, friendships, family, life, well-being, success, health, vitality, appearance, like maybe, you know, like physique, and things like that. It can be even more temporary things. It can be whatever you want. In whatever sector you want to rewrite the subconscious limiting beliefs, you're going to write what you'd like to affirm. So in order to reprogram our subconscious mind, we need repetition. So we're going to do this consistently and release expectation. I think that if you're going to be writing and then that same day you're going to be looking for evidence, or that same day you're going to hyper focus, or the same day you're going to search for it, it's like you're not going to plant a little seed of corn and that same day go and be like, where's my corn stalk, and dig up your seed. You're not going to plant your seed and in 2 weeks be like, where's my corn? Even a month later, you're not going to plant a seed and then dig it up and search for your corn. You need to do this work and trust that it's working, and you need time to see changes. I would say you'll see changes about week 3 and onward. It's different for everyone, but it needs to be consistent so your mind begins, like I said, to reprogram your subconscious. It can't just be a one-time thing, a two-time thing. It needs to be consistent. As I also suggest doing it at a consistent time every day. So in meditation, right after meditation, or whatever it may be. Also, I'll give you a third option for hypnosis. But basically, so it needs to be consistent. That's another thing I will say. And with time, especially like a month, 2 months, 3 months, you will see major changes in the way you view yourself, and in turn then your beliefs change, in turn your energy changes, and your world changes. So that is a very powerful technique. The last technique I'm going to talk about is sleep hypnosis. There's so many options to do, so you really define what resonates with you. So you can, like, there's an app called Relax and Sleep Well. I talk about it by Glenn Harold or Howard Harold, and it's basically, it helps you reprogram your subconscious mind, and those are great. I'm also going to release some as well. Like, I'm gonna put it on PBA. I'm gonna do one for like finances, one for relationship, one for self-esteem, and maybe just those 3 for now. I will be like personally recording and channeling and guiding you guys, so those will be up, because I think it's really powerful when it's done with someone you resonate with. So you can even try to record them for yourself and put music to it if you're feeling the way, or just record audio and play it before bed. It needs to be something that you resonate with, so that even when you're falling asleep, it's resonating. I don't know how to say it. Like, even as you're falling asleep and as you fall asleep, it still is impacting your subconscious mind. So even when you're literally in like that lucid state, not even lucid, it was like right before bed. I forgot what exact brainwave state that is. And as you fall asleep, and even when you're sleeping and you're still hearing, and it's reprogramming your subconscious mind. That's why I figured for those that watch me, we most likely have a strong connection if you've been watching me and you follow me and things like that. So I will have those on my site very, very soon. I'll make them super affordable, like, I don't know, $5 something. My meditations are $5.55, so I'll make this $5.55. Obviously, I still, you know, it's my livelihood, and I put all, you know, my energy and effort, and I record it and I channel it, and I put all my effort to get myself into the state to be able to channel it, and I do the audio and edit everything, and, you know, create the whole product. So it's a lot of still work on my end, but I still keep them, you know, affordable, so that it's like a cup of coffee, or like, you know what I mean, something like that, or like, you know, $5.55, something they get to download and keep forever. It's gonna shift a literal belief and a whole reroute something subconsciously in you, and in turn benefit your life in, you know, significant ways. I think is worth it, right? So I'm gonna be working on that, and this isn't like to self-promote that. Like I said, you're welcome to find ones online. You're welcome to do the other app. You're welcome to record them yourself. I always just like to offer for those that resonate with me, so that you know, a product that is of value to you. So that's another way you can reprogram them. So hopefully this wasn't a thorough enough video where I was able to go through kind of the origins of this, why this occurs, how this impacts our lives, the areas it impacts, how to test for where these are the subconscious beliefs you have are more limiting, and then in turn different ways that you can reprogram and see success and changes in your life. So I love you guys. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe. It really helps out the channel. Be sure to give me a thumbs up if you like these types of videos. Again, it really helps me out, and, you know, it's something small that you can do that's free. Just a thumbs up that, you know, reminds me that you guys are enjoying this content. And yeah, I love you guys so much. If you want to be connected with me a little bit more, I highly suggest you follow me on Instagram. I'm very interactive there, messaging back and forth. I like to always put up a question box so you guys can put in your questions, advice, topics, things like that, or just whatever's on your mind. I can get like a temperature check and then cultivate videos around that. If you want to be more connected, I guess Instagram is really the place to be. I also have my website linked down below for a bunch of other resources that you may find helpful, and if you want to do one-on-one kind of sessions with me, I have that on my website as well, if you have a more, you know, personal situation. And yeah, without further ado, I'd like to say thank you for tuning in here with me. I love you guys, and I will see you next time.